Cam Newton, I just found this hilarious. You know, Cam Newton, I'm not that Jason Whitlock, you're not that guy, pal. And he's standing up for Joy Taylor. And now he's tweeting out how great Molly Qerim is and blah, blah, blah. And someone said, hey, Jay, you remember Cam Newton talking crazy to this female reporter just a few years ago? Let's play that clip. This is shot for Cam Newton laughing because a woman is asking him about pass routes. Play the clip.
I know you take a lot of pride in seeing your receivers play well. Devin Funchess has seemed to really embrace the physicality of his routes and getting those extra yards. Does that give you a little bit of an enjoyment to see him kind of truck sticking people out there?
It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Like, it's funny.
Did ESPN put Cam through the re-education program? Is he now a feminist and thinks female broadcasters are the greatest thing since sliced bread? Or is he just doing whatever is possible to survive and remain relevant now that he's never going to play football again?
Probably all of that, and he probably did not realize there's this thing called Google. Here's my message to Cam. My guy. No. You're not my guy. Come on. The thing that is interesting about what he said about you, and by the way, a lot of reaction videos to all the content creators, thumbs up whether you agree or disagree with this, but Cam really showed what a simpleton he is. Jason, you never really said, hey, back in my younger days, I was heavy D, but looked like Denzel Washington or Tyson Beckford. The overall thing it was about power, leverage, and influence, and how do people react to it? Are they predatory with that power, or are they benevolent with it and just leave people alone? In 2 words, Harvey Weinstein. He didn't make the cover of GQ the last I checked. He was pulling a lot of pee because of why? The power, leverage, and influence. And the fact that any guy does not understand why it was dangerous that allegedly, I'm going to use the word allegedly here, Cam, look it up, that the default defense of Joy Taylor was going to be, well, in my back pocket, I have a Me Too card. Every man with any type of influence, power, or riches should be deathly afraid of that. The fact that he could not understand that, I think, I hate to say it, shows that he's still a dumb jock. My guy. Anyway.
You go dumb jock. I'm going to go, it's the same, but it's a different word. He's a horny jock. And that's all Cam thinks with his smallest head. And he wants to keep everything in play, from Joy Taylor to Molly Qerim. He just wants it all available if necessary. Did you see the video he put out and Molly Qerim commented on it? Thank you, Cam, or whatever. He put out a video, talking about how now he can see Molly Qerim. She's a beast. She's a beast. Set it teeing up Ryan Clark and Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp. You just don't understand how incredible Molly Qerim is. She's a beast at this job.
It took me to appreciate Molly Qerim even more by working with her and understanding she's a beast. The way she's able to tee up certain individuals, the Ryan Clarks, the Stephen A. Smiths, the Shannon Sharps, the Mad Dogs of the world, like that's a talent that requires a certain individual to know. Very professional, very, I come here to work and I do my job at a high level. So,
and I was like, look at Cam. He wants to make sure them text messages or DMs get answered if he decides to hop in Molly Qerim's DM.
Or those DMs never get revealed. I mean, let's be honest about this. I'm going to go here. Cam Newton has never come up to a woman because of her football intellect or because he wanted to talk sports. In the immortal words of the great philosophers, Belle Biv DeVoe, just a big butt and a smile. That's what he was for. And it would just, by the way, that is fine. Do you think, how many kids does he have by different baby mamas? At least 3 or 4, right? Do you think any of them have his seed because of their intellect? Let's just be all the way out there. And this applies to a lot of guys, probably all of us. When we see a woman, we're like, whew, we have a visceral reaction, okay? But none of us ever think, wow, I wonder what she thinks of the dig route out of a trips formation. You know Cam doesn't, because he'd giggle at that girl. So let's be honest about it. So Cam's saying that all of a sudden we have to respect women for their intellect. Really, have you ever, and Cam, you had a lot of options. You were a good strapping, handsome fella, right? Especially before the hats. You had your choice. You had your choice of a lot. You never chose one for their IQ. And you know what? Most guys are like that. Let's be honest about this.
Let me throw in something I didn't prepare you for, and I apologize.
Yes.
But on this weekend when I'm having these thoughts about Cam and Molly Qerim, and people are upset with me at what I've said about these female talk show hosts, did you watch the Amazon Prime NFL playoff game on Saturday?
Yeah,
I believe it
I
was
did.
the night game. What was the night game? Was that the Chargers? And
No, that was the
it
afternoon
was
game.
Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Pittsburgh and
Yes.
Baltimore. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. And one of the things I've had to acknowledge after this complete full season, and I know I didn't prepare you for this, I don't know how much you watched, but Amazon Prime's NFL studio show, led by Carissa Thompson, is the best NFL show we have going right now. And I have to admit that is the closest thing we have right now to the vibe and the energy of inside the NBA. And I've been a fan and friendly with Carissa Thompson. I hate to say that because now she'll get in trouble for me liking her. But but I've never been a fan of Richard Sherman. And I have to say, I love Richard Sherman on this show. And it's like all these guys have a little role. Tony Gonzalez is the too cool for school guy. Ryan Fitzpatrick is kind of the class clown. And Andrew Whitworth is kind of the smart offensive lineman that's got a good sense of humor and probably comes off like a good dad. And Richard Sherman is kind of the Barkley type character on there. I'm amazed at how well that show is. And I got to give credit. Carissa Thompson kind of plays the Ernie Johnson role at a high level.
Okay, so I'll be honest about it. I did watch the game, but as soon as it goes to halftime, I'm going on YouTube and watching the latest Charleston White interview. I just can't help it. I just cut out the fat nowadays. But what I've seen, I like. But your key phrase, Carissa Thompson plays Ernie Johnson. She's not trying to be the Jet. She's not trying to be Charles Barkley. She certainly is not trying to be Shaquille O'Neal. The ladies, no matter how they look, in my view, they are effective and can work as the point guard. Just be John Stockton. Get the ball in the right places on the floor to the shooters and scorers. Get out of the way. You're the traffic director. Then you start all over again. I do think there's an issue, though, when you have NFL quarterbacks on there and you have some female breaking down a cover 3 or a Robert technique. Bandit coverage, like, okay, no, get out. Carissa Thompson stays in her lane and she drives in it well.
Jason, do you guys, and Steve, do y'all really think this is the best NFL sort of hosting show, or has everything else just gotten that stale? Because it's not a cast of characters that everybody really loves, but it just feels like everything else has just gotten so bad.
I agree with that sentiment that the show is beating up a bunch of midgets. And NFL on Fox used to be a show that was very enjoyable, but I think it's gotten stale. It's too many people on there. Yeah, and it got a little too corporate, but good show. But I do think this show is better. ESPN, when Randy Moss started crying about rubber lips or whatever, it's like, I'm just done. I can't do it. And who they replaced the woman with, Mike Greenberg or what? CBS, I can't. Nate Burleson drives me nuts, and initially I thought I would like him, but Nate is another one of these. He tries to come across like Tony Gonzalez, too cool for school, but he ain't Tony Gonzalez. Yeah. As a player, he ain't Tony Gonzalez as a good-looking model type guy or whatever. He just ain't that guy, and so he kind of dresses up in clown outfits, and the CBS show is But no, I'm going to stand on this. I think it's a compliment what I'm saying about this show. I actually enjoy it. It's not a show that I tolerate. It's one that I enjoy. And, given the fact that I can't stand Richard Sherman, he's a woke Northern California leftist. But I like him on this show.
He's from Compton, though.
I really do.
He's from Compton, though. He's a Southern California guy, but I get it.
Yeah. He was Stanford or whatever. Didn't he go to Stanford? And next thing you know, you get a Stanford degree, and everybody's supposed to forget that, he probably had a 900 SAT and would have never got into Stanford.
Oh, come on. They don't lower the standards at that school, Jason. Well, no, not that much.
Hey, look. Anyway, don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.